Okay, this is John in Florida again. This is the second part of this two-part set of videos on pizza making. I'm going to have to do this audio track separately from the original sound that was recorded. I had a bunch of guys over for dinner from work, and we were having a conversation that was business related, so I couldn't include it. So here I am checking the oven to stop with the BS. You can see it was on bake 550 degrees, checking the stone 595, 590. I had checked it previous to this when I started the camera, and it was actually up to 610 on the stone itself. So that was really warm compared to the 550 setting of the oven. I checked the back of the oven, and it was at 550, the metal back of the oven cavity. So the stone itself was started out at 610 the second time when it was on video. I checked it, it was like 590, so it was higher than the 550, so that's actually good. So here I am going to start making one of these pies. I'm actually going pretty slow. I usually work faster than this, but I think I wanted to just make sure I didn't screw up since I knew it was on camera here. One of the interesting things, as I had said in the blog on one of the pizza websites, that my cook time was 6 to 8 minutes, I think. And it turned out that in this case, it was actually more like 10 minutes. It was exactly 10 minutes cooking these pies on this particular night. Made 4 pies. This one was a bacon and onion, I think. Yeah, it's the first one I'm making here. You can see the King Arthur bread flour on the left there. I use that just for working flour on the countertop, just because the actual pizza dough is King Arthur, Sir Lancelot, but since you have to pay dearly for that stuff and mail order it and so forth, I just use this bread flour. I find that on that wooden peel that if you rub some flour into it, I read the tip someplace that it helps with the pie not sticking to the wooden peel. And so here we go. This dough, you can just about do that with it, pick it up, but it can't take much more than that. If you try to hold it up any longer, it would tear. I use Pepe crushed tomatoes, and these little boxes on a 12-inch pie. I get 4 pies out of one box, and this particular box actually was chunkier than most of the. I made some pizza last weekend. It wasn't like this. You could see it's really a lot of chunks there. Usually it's a little more crushed, but you know, there's variations, of course. It's all natural product. So anyway, putting some tomatoes on here. This particular dough I don't have to rush with too much. It doesn't soak up a lot of moisture. Again, I'm going really slow here compared to what I usually do. Part of it was I was talking to the guys that I had over for dinner. So here we go with the boar's head mozzarella sliced. It's makes all the difference in the world. If you use shredded mozzarella, forget about it. Go get this stuff. It's in most delis and most stores. Boar's head sliced mozzarella. It's wonderful. Creamy taste. Nothing like the shredded stuff that you buy. I'm really going slow as molasses here, but that's alright. I don't have any problem with leaving the dough out. Sometimes if it's a wetter dough, you know, you don't want to leave it on the counter too much sometimes, but this stuff doesn't seem to mind. So I'm going to put some onions. Getting slow as molasses here, but the only reason I'm doing these lengthy videos, this one's 17 minutes, just to whom it may concern. See all the steps I do here, and again, my objective in this whole thing was to create pizza that was as close as I could get to Pepe's on Wooster St in New Haven, Connecticut. And this recipe and this particular stone and this oven, this Jenner oven, which I've had in a couple different houses, the same oven, does an excellent job. It's I would say that it's virtually identical to Pepe's in New Haven. That's quite a claim, but I've spent a lot of time here on this recipe, and I've eaten it. I used to live in Connecticut, so I've eaten there many hundreds and hundreds of times. So I'm pretty familiar with Pepe's pizza. It's pretty boring watching somebody put bacon on a pizza, one piece at a time. Let's see, what else can we add here? Not much. The important part is just just watching the whole process, just in case anybody wants to try to duplicate this. It's easy to do. Once you get the dough, which the previous video had the dough. This is just garlic, little chopped garlic with some olive oil. The previous video had the dough recipe and how I make the dough, which is really very simple. Nothing to it, nothing special, no tricks, no very basic ingredients: yeast, salt, flour, and water. But the key is King Arthur Sir Lancelot flour, high gluten, 14.2% protein. Put a little olive oil in there. Get close to go in the oven here. I take this pastry thing and I skim underneath the pie. Works good just to make sure it's very, give it a shake, make sure it's completely free. Don't want to be screwing around. I guess I don't show it going in the oven, but we'll see here in a minute. Take the camera over and point it at the oven. Let's see, I should time it on this video, but I think it was about 10 minutes these were cooking. This is showing you what the, from the previous day, what the dough looks like. It's probably at least tripled in size coming out of these proofing trays. It's a 35-degree, you see the top sticks a little bit, so I just pull it up and it comes out without too much difficulty. They are stuck to the bottom, but what I do is I turn that proofing tray over on top of the counter, and both of them, I just wait till they fall out of the tray. Instead of trying, you can't really pick them up. They stick, even with the way I use that Pam spray in the tray, they stick, so I just turn them upside down. I think here I'm finally going to go point the camera over at the oven, bake at 550. Yeah, this is not a very exciting video. Another 10 minutes till the end when you take it out and cut it. There we go. This is about exciting as it gets for the next 5 minutes here, 5-6 minutes. Okay, so here we are, coming to the end. In a minute I'll take this pie out of the oven. You can see the way the edges have turned up a little bit. It's pretty hot. These could have been done slightly more if you like. I do like them blackened, but sometimes some people have little slightly different tastes, so I could have left it in maybe another even 30 seconds and it would have made a little bit of a difference, but you'll see in a minute. You can't tell much in this light, but there we go. Move the camera here in a minute. It's too bad I couldn't have included the audio so you can hear what it sounds like cutting this pie, because it's pretty crisp. The crust around the edges is very crisp. When you go with the pizza cutter, you really get a crunch. But the conversation going on in the background was like I can't include it here. So we're going to take a little look underneath. You can see the. Not sure why I didn't hold it up longer. I think I turned a piece over here after we cut it, but trying to give some idea of the fact that it's browned all the way on the bottom from the stone. Like I say, I could have left it in another 30 seconds and it would have gone to black. So you can get an idea. You got to really work at cutting it. It's very stiff. If you hold one of these pieces up, it'll stand up on its own. You can see the way that cutter went through the crust there. It's very crisp. Bacon and onion, by the way, comes out really nice. I do cook about half cook the bacon first, just like you would for breakfast in a frying pan. See how rigid the piece is. Making me hungry looking at it. There we go. Give it a try. Don't be shy to make pizza at home. Try this recipe or anything else, experiment. It's always worth it. You get excellent product.